Good morning, everybody. Deacon, how are you this morning?
What's up, dude?
I've been dealing with this. I'm gonna move the camera just a little bit farther back there. I've been dealing with this total car situation. It is a bummer. I was
Yeah, I'm
thinking
not going.
yesterday, oh, I need to cut some shorts because we were actually getting a little bit of movement in traffic when I was doing the shorts every day to promote the channel, and and at the same time, I'm like almost depressed because I have to deal with this car thing. And I'm like, how can I make fun short videos if I'm like bummed? So
Yeah, that's kind of sucks. You could be taking new medicine that's completely tearing up your stomach. Two different medicines that's completely tearing up your stomach in your life, and you haven't slept in a month. I mean, I slept
um
the most last night that I've slept in a long time, and I think I slept about 3 hours before I woke up. So
oh,
that
that's
is
awful.
literally the most sleep that I have had in years, probably. No, probably a couple of months. I think I one day I slept pretty good, but I did not want to do this show this morning. I did not want to come into
um
work. I've thrown up 3 or 4 times this morning already. I have tried to get my car because the battery was not working this morning. So I've spent about 45 minutes outside in the rain this morning trying to jump my car at 4 or 5 a.m. All the whole while running to the bushes to throw up
oh
in the
my god.
bushes beside my house because of my medicine and my stomach. And then I was up all night on the toilet. So no, I'm not having a good morning.
I am
But this is
so
this is
sorry,
normal for
but
me.
I am grateful that you've put my petty little transportation problem into context. And so, I mean, really, it's
I
like
didn't mean
I
to do
have
it that way. I was just
no.
I'm having such a bad morning. I
You
looked
could
up at the clock and it was like 6:30. I was like, man, I want to lay down in the floor. I don't want to. I want to lay down in the
yeah.
floor. It's just it's a rough morning for me, and I've got a busy day and a busy day tomorrow, so I don't get any break.
So Jeremy says at least you got rain, so you got a plus
That's a
sign
good
there.
point. Yeah, I mean we have had a bunch of rain here lately, but it was like they didn't rain for 2 months, and then it dropped like 2 months worth of rain on us in one day.
Yeah,
I hear a
yeah.
train. I'll have to mute me in a
There
second.
was I mean I'm not to go back to my own problem, but I'm at my job
No,
and
that's
I'm trying to deal with
important to
this
you.
this paperwork stuff. And I come home last night, and on the way home, well, my wife texted me. She's like, it's kind of bad out. I'm like, yeah, I should head home because I stayed at the office late working on a project. So I go out and I'm like, wow, the sky looks really weird. And I get in the car and I start driving. About halfway up to the way to the highway, like debris is flying across the road and bouncing off
What?
the car. Yeah, like sticks or I don't know what. It's something bounced off the car, and I'm like, okay, we got debris flying around outside. On the way home, I probably saw no less than 40 lightning strikes. Like it was just zap,
Wow.
zap, 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 zap. It was the wildest lightning storm and rain. You know, there was rain and lightning. Visibility was like 25 feet, 50 feet in front of the car. So I don't know what I'm not. I don't pay attention to the weather very much. So I don't know what came through here, but it was nasty.
I don't
It
know.
must have come through your area too.
Yeah,
Edge of it anyway.
usually if you'll get it a day before we do. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry you're feeling bad, sir. You're having
It's
an
new medicine.
insomniac reaction to medicine.
Well, I don't sleep good. And I haven't in like 20, 30 years. I mean, I'm not one of those people that wakes up and gets refreshed by sleeping. I wake up and I'm still hurting and tired when I wake up. I always
Yeah.
do. And I've often thought, I wonder what kind of person I would be if I was the type of person that woke up and felt refreshed when I woke up. Because I think that's something that probably people that do that take for granted, that you wake up in the morning after sleeping and your body feels refreshed and you feel like, I'm ready to tackle the day. Let's go running or let's go doing something. Not everybody wakes up like that. I don't.
Wow.
I have never woken up like that. It's been so long since I've woken up like that. I don't even remember. I wake up every morning hurting so bad, and am so tired that I don't. And I've often wondered. I wonder what I would have done with my life, or what I would have done differently if I would have woke up for like the last 20, 25, 30 years and felt, energized and energetic,
Yeah.
because I would feel more like, going to do something else that I don't do. I'm not a very active person because I'm hurting and aching all the freaking time. So I just wonder. I wonder, but no,
I
it's
mean,
not a big deal. My problem today is the thing that's getting me was besides the freaking car battery being an asshole. I hope it's not the alternator. I hope it's just a battery. Have you priced a damn car battery lately? Do we have dads in the chat?
uh,
Has
nah,
anybody priced a car battery lately?
isn't it like 80, $90 or something like
Ooh,
that?
you're
What?
gonna get a little higher than that now, JJ.
Seriously?
They ain't 50 and $60 anymore.
Really?
Good God Almighty. And they're not made like they used to either. You could spend 25, $30 and get a good battery back in the day, and that sucker would last forever. And these little pieces of crap that they're making today don't last any time.
Hmm.
So anyway, it wasn't dealing with that. It's this new diabetes medicine, and this I was put on some high blood pressure medicine for the first time in my life, and it's messing me up, man. Phew, gosh, it's messing me up.
Wow.
I feel like an old guy. I'm on high blood pressure medicine,
I'm
and
gonna
it's giving me
try.
the poops.
So I don't understand their layout. So, oh, here we go. There we kind of like equivalent this way, I guess. Yeah, I'm sorry about your medicine, but hopefully you're able to adapt to it. This
Yeah,
is this is for your diabetes, for your
yeah, and I was
blood sugar
told
and
that it
stuff.
was. Yeah, I was told that it was going to be a
So
process to go through
yeah,
this.
have you? I have heard, and I'm not offering any suggestions. I'm just asking your experience. I have heard that people that are on like the keto diet with high fat,
Hmm.
low carbs, are able to stabilize their blood sugar better. Have you
I
had that experience before? Or
I am kind of on a makeshift keto intensive diet right now. It's not,
yeah,
it's not like you. It's not exclusive, but it's very much protein.
yeah,
And I'm keeping like I don't know. I haven't ate it. I don't eat in the mornings. I have to force myself to eat. And I honestly just looked up here at this peanut butter. I keep some peanut butter in here
yeah,
strictly now because in the morning I told Ashley I was like I can't eat in the morning. The first morning I had to choke down this little energy bar. I was going to throw it up. I just can't do that. My body don't let me eat first thing in the morning. And I told her, I said, I'm starting small with like a couple of little bites of peanut butter while me and JJ talk. And she's like, okay, that'll work.
yeah,
So I've got my little foods and stuff, but I've got some cheeses and some nuts and some raisins out there that I'll snack on throughout the day with my little snack periods. So I'm not exclusive keto, but I am kind of focused on more on that because I'm a sugar junkie. I have been my
yeah.
whole life. I'm addicted to sugar. It's a freaking drug. It really is a
It
drug.
is.
It's a drug. And it takes, your body has to wean to get off of it. It does.
Yeah.
And I mean, and my body is not liking not having all this sugar that I fed it all the damn time. It's not. And it's weird
So
because I feel like I'm cheating on Ashley sometimes because I I don't do it anymore. But when I was first diagnosed a couple of years ago, I would sneak cookies and
yeah,
sneak Smarties and lemon heads and stuff like that. And I felt like I was cheating on Ashley because I would wait until everybody was gone, you know, and then I would sneak in there and get a couple of cookies and, hide and
yeah,
eat like I was doing something bad. But now I look back at that and I'm like, I've had a couple of doctors that have been pretty real with me and have slapped me across the face. And I'm like, oh, I better get
yeah.
this underway.
Are you
I'd like
trying
to,
to spike your
watch
blood
my
sugar?
daughter
You're
down the
sensitive to
aisle.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing. I mean, like I don't know if you're really doing keto or if you're just kind of doing a halfway thing. But one of the
Halfway.
things about cutting, yeah, one of the things about cutting carbs out. and cutting out sugars like zero. If you go for like 3 weeks, and I know you have a like lifelong addiction to sugar. I do too. You go for like 3 weeks or whatever, and you stick to the strict keto stuff. Like the appetite for sweets disappears, and it's the
Yeah.
most bizarre thing. You're like, I have I have my whole life been like, ooh, breadsticks, or my whole life I've been like, I'm gonna get some, Sour Patch or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when that stuff is in the house and you're like, no, I'm good. I don't need that.
Hmm.
It is
Hmm.
it is the it's pretty, now the problem is always like, oh, I haven't had a sweet in a long time. I'll have this one, and then
Boom.
cascade.
Yep.
Yep, down the hill. Yeah. So you
I,
do. So there in moments of weakness, you do have to be diligent.
I did notice that actually, and I had actually read that exact thing that you said in an article one time from this woman who it's a big long article I read long time ago, and it was about the woman had taken her family on sugar free, her husband and her two kids, and they went sugar free, and it was a big ordeal. It was like her blog or something that she had made into this story. It was a huge ordeal getting their whole family sugar free. And once
Yeah.
they did, they would have like on their birthday, you would get to pick whatever sugary thing that you wanted and indulge. And she said it got to the point that on their birthdays, they didn't want the sugary. They didn't want their favorite treats. Like the husband wanted whatever. And when he got it the first time, he took a bite out of it and he did not like it anymore. It changes you. You don't want. And,
Yeah,
and, I,
that's
and I
amazing.
noticed that too, that after I cut down my sweets so much that there are certain things that I still love. I mean, you put a banana pudding or peach cobbler in front of me, and I'm going to have to take a
Yeah,
bite, one bite. But
yeah,
some of the other things that I used to really love, these chess cakes and stuff like that, when we go to places and potlucks and stuff like that where they have that stuff, I don't eat it. It
yeah,
looks good and it smells good, but I've ate some before. I'll get a big piece and I'll be like, this is I'm gonna, splurge this one, and I'll eat one bite, and it just
yeah.
doesn't taste the same.
Well, I hope that your new medicine settles down and that you're able to. Peanut butter is a good thing though. Like
Yeah.
even on keto, like peanut butter, it's high fat. If you get the stuff especially if you get the stuff that's a little more natural or low sugar or whatever, peanut
Mhm.
butter peanut butter is very very good. Good morning, Dragon Knight or Dragoon Knight. Dragoon Knight five
What's up,
five. Good
dude?
morning, sir. Welcome to the
Um,
show. That's
you know,
Deacon. I'm JJ. We're your two dads, and we'll be reading the news shortly.
did your we come from the generation of our parents. Your mom probably still cooked a little bit, didn't she?
A little bit, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, she did.
mine did a little bit too.
She was. And I don't want to speak ill of my mom or anything like
Right.
that, but it was. She was for most of our life. She was kind of a single mother, so it was like and
Work. Yeah.
it was work a lot, and then still cook at the end of the day. So a lot of times the cooking was like what was kind of easy to do,
Easy stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it would
I
be like
see.
shrimp and rice, and then make like shrimp rice stuff, or it'd be like
Hamburger
mac and cheese and
helper. We had
something.
like
Yeah, that
tuna
stuff.
fish sandwiches and tomato soup and stuff like that on those
Yeah,
types of days. Yeah, that's what I was getting at is we come from a generation where our parents didn't eat as much processed food as we did, and then our children are eating, or the generation even between us, those kids they ate nothing but hardly processed food, and then these
yeah.
these people are eating more processed food, and that contributes to a lot of stuff. But that's people getting all these health issues and stuff today, and in
so
our age, that's why, man, we've eaten
so
sugar since we were kids.
the reason there's so much sugar is because the American Heart Association back in the 50s was advocating for removing fat from foods
Yeah.
to lower cholesterol in Americans. So the idea was to lower cholesterol, and they take fat out of foods. Well, fat tastes good. Fat tastes delicious. You
Yep.
take fat out of food, and you're left with the rest of the food, which doesn't
Bland.
taste good.
Yeah.
So they start pumping in sugar and preservatives and other stuff like that. And so the American Heart Association is quite a bit responsible
It's
for. And then I read this. I heard about this story the other day. I didn't read it, but I heard about it. There was a survey of the people on the dietary council or whatever it is. The federal government has this council of people that are there to provide guidelines for diet
yeah.
for the
Yeah.
stuff on the side of the box.
Yeah.
95% of the people on the dietary council have conflicts of interest. They work for
Imagine
a
that.
Kellogg's or
Isn't that interesting?
something like
You find
that.
that you find that in a lot of different types of businesses and government stuff. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Dick Cheney used to work for who? And then they did what? And that's just the prime example that comes off the top of my head. But you're right. Yeah.
There's 330 million Americans, and we're all eating stuff out of the grocery store. But how are we supposed to live healthy when the people who are providing dietary guidelines are doing so to line their own pockets?
And they've done it since the beginning of America. If you go back and look at just the history of that type of stuff, that's not the only time that's ever happened. That's not even rare that kind of thing happens, where the American whatever association tells you this, and then 40 years later we're finding out, man, this was not a good idea, and this was really bad for society, but all these damn smart people said you got to listen to us. And then when dumbasses like me, who don't have a master's degree in whatever the crap you do, and say, wait a minute, I think that's wrong, that sounds, and you know what I get? Well, you don't have a degree, you're dumb. You're smart, I'm smarter than you. What do you know? Well, that's why I always go around saying I'm just a dumb hick from Kentucky. I don't know anything. I'm just a dumb hick from Kentucky. My sister's my favorite cousin.
So my brother's taken up from my mom a little bit. He says that cooking was a chore for her. It was a chore, but she used to make lasagna, and it was great. And I would agree. It was the homemade lasagna is delicious.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. Yeah, mom did some homemade stuff like that too. That was really, really good. Mom's meatloaf was just, and my mom had a chili recipe that after her and my dad got a divorce, and my dad would say to me, and my dad got remarried, he would say to me every once in a while, he'd go, next time you're at your mom's, get her chili recipe for me. No, man. All right. So we got some news stories. Let's go through some. I saw that you had put some pretty interesting ones in.
I got some. I think I was going to, as normal, it's very important, boys and girls, to start with the worst news of the day so that you can end on some happy stuff.
Okay.
And I was trying to see if there's some way that I could jam this in there too. Let me see if I can get this in there, because I do love to talk about this lady. But we'll do this first. Yeah, of course. Before I get to that, I need to get my my sticker ready. So let's do. Where's my button? Here, this one. Let's start with things that should give you nightmares. Can you adjust the? Oh, you did. Thank you. All right. Russian forces threaten to blow up Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. So, come on, these people with Ukraine. There will either be Russian land or a scorched desert, says Major General Valery Vasiliev. Russian forces are threatening to deliberately blow up the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, stating that the site is already wired with explosives, according to Energodom, Ukraine's state-owned. Oh, okay. So, Ukraine's state-owned nuclear power station operator. Could be propaganda. Maybe it's legit. I don't know. So Ukraine is saying that Russia has put explosive on their nuclear power plant. Just out the gate, what's your reaction?
So I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Yeah.
This is just real quick. This is where we're talking. So here's Romania over here.
Yep.
And then we're talking this here's Ukraine. Let me see if I can squeeze out some more. We got Poland, Germany. See all this. So Russia's coming in this way. So the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant is right here.
Oh, kind of
That's
in the
it.
middle of the country, or east of Kiev.
See the land that they've terraformed around it for the power plant. So this is what is around the nuclear power plant. Poland is very close. Romania is very, very close. Bulgaria, most of Ukraine. We're talking, if that thing explodes, what's the fallout?
Well, it won't be quite that large,
Oh,
but
you
can
don't
you
think it's
zoom
going to be?
in a little? No, 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 no. I mean, it would definitely have fallout because you'd have
We,
nuclear dust, nuclear debris, and stuff like that. But okay, stop. So stop right there. So from there, Kiev is where's Kiev? So it
uh,
should be north of that. Yeah. Okay. So
there it is.
that is about equidistant from Kiev as it is from the island down below, which is under Russian control.
This,
And it would put a nuclear fallout cloud between Russia and their warm water port they want. So
see, I don't
I
know
don't,
how the
I don't
winds
believe them.
blow over here on this side of the earth and the jet stream and stuff over there, but I mean, we're talking right here on this is this water is going to go straight out in. Now look at these cities down here. It's going to pour out into all these.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it would be bad for definitely for the residents.
That whole area. Is this a freshwater or salt water? It's got to be salt water.
Which area? Oh,
What is that little piece of water right there? Geography.
I don't know. I don't think it's the Black Sea. I think the Black Sea is east of where you're at.
Uh, yeah, I thought it was.
But
Yeah,
that is the warm water port for that the only one that Russia has access to. So
they okay. So they have access to it from right here.
from the eastern side of Ukraine. There's another country over here, but this map doesn't do very good for defining the country borders.
When we get to the I will admit that I'm not very good with geography over here on this side of the world. I would probably pass a test if you gave me a blank map, but I would just barely pass it, man. I mean, I know where the big places are, but if you start saying stuff like show me where, Poland and Germany I could probably get, but you start talking about some of these little places, Croatia and Slovakia and Bulgaria, I would
So
never.
so
I'll
this
get back to you.
this is kind of like halfway between the area that Russia controls, the Donetsk region, and the southern ports. I doubt that Ukraine is making any more progress recovering their land. I haven't been paying attention. Anybody that has any sense hasn't been paying any attention to Ukraine.
I see some of the and only because I'll scroll through Reddit just because I'm
Yeah,
stay up to date with every type of facet of learning. Anyway, I scroll through Reddit's and I'll see some of the combat footage subreddits, and it'll show there's a lot of drone killings in this war.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Drones
Oh
dropping
yes.
bombs and dropping personal grenades and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen them. They are not safe for work. Some of these, they are straight up true and straight up real. It's kind of crazy. It's a little scary.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't want anywhere in Ukraine to get blown up with explosives or anything else, and I also don't want to give anybody any money and stop fighting this stupid war. Um, but we'll see. Maybe there's going to be a Chernobyl set off on purpose. I don't think it would be as bad as Chernobyl because it would explode and there'd be like nuclear dust and stuff all over the place that would float around. But it
We've
wouldn't it
gone
wouldn't be like Chernobyl.
we've gone too long from an overall. You step back and look at history and a timeline, historical timeline. We've gone too long without some crazy megalomaniac trying to do something that pisses off the world. And I mean, and it
Well,
doesn't matter what you think
have
about
you
Putin, but I mean, at some point in history during the timeline, a megalomaniac is going to try to do something to piss off the world. That's just fact. That's just fact.
you are not incorrect, and I don't know if you've ever heard of the fourth turning, but we maybe talk about that at another time. But like,
Okay.
we're basically on schedule for another calamity.
Yeah.
So I don't know about all the megalomaniacs, but I know about this horrible haggard hag.
God.
So, speaking of megalomaniacs, Nancy Pelosi was blasted after you recall that last week or so she almost got us into a war with China by going to Taiwan. So Nancy Pelosi has been blasted after calling China one of the freest societies in the
Jesus
world.
Christ. Are you kidding me?
What the fuck is wrong with this lady? House Speaker Nancy Pelosi faced backlash online Tuesday after she said during an NBC News interview that communist China was one of the freest societies in the world. I mean, unless you're a Uyghur or anybody that wants to read anything that the communist state doesn't allow you to, or wants to go anywhere they don't
No
allow you to.
kidding. Look at some of those cities where the people are still waiting to become Chinese citizens for like 40 years, and look what happens to them there. Good God.
Yeah, she must mean freest societies in the world if you are a Chinese aristocrat or oligarch, or one of the members holding power in the party. So Pelosi's remarks came after she visited Taiwan last week, which triggered an intense days of intense Chinese military drills. Which, by the way, they're still violating Taiwan airspace. We will support the one China policy. We will go there. We go there to acknowledge the status quo is what our policy is. There's nothing disruptive about that, Pelosi said. It was only about saying China is one of the freest societies in the world. This is straight up. This is exactly how she just pretends like she didn't do something awful, and it was all saber rattling and um, you know, gamesmanship to begin with. She said she was going to go to Taiwan, then China said no, so now she has to go to prove that China can't tell U.S. politicians what to do. And then she comes back and then walks back her whole thing and even says this garbage. Anyway, so Nancy Pelosi's horrible, and she's third in line to be the president.
Yeah.
Can you imagine saying President Pelosi?
Oh
The White House
I
couldn't
don't
stock
say
enough
President
wine.
Biden. I say Joe Biden.
What's that?
I don't say President Biden. I say Joe Biden.
He was the legitimately elected president by the Congress
He
who cast
was?
their votes.
He
Yeah,
was?
yeah, sure, absolutely. I mean, have you been able to prove otherwise? Can
I have
anyone prove
not.
otherwise?
You make a good point. You make a very good point, JJ. I have
If
not.
anyone can prove otherwise, please show me how.
Once again, I
Anyway,
would just like to reiterate the fact that I am a dumb
hey, what
Kentucky
do we know? I
inbred
don't
hick
know.
that thinks
We
my
don't know.
cousin's cute.
Oh, is he?
Not really. Yeah, he is.
All right, here this is a little bit better. There were more than I think there were more than 10, but there are 10 House Republicans impeached Trump, and here's where they stand now. One of the times that Trump was impeached, because he was impeached a couple of times. There were members of the House that were Republicans that voted to impeach. I think there were actually 35, but there were 10 of them that had they're facing some primaries. So Rep. Jamie Butler became the latest Republican who impeached former President Trump to lose her primary bid after she conceded on Tuesday night, 1 week after her primary in Washington.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Miss Butler,
We're not wanting to keep her in office.
Mister. Yeah, Miss Butler. Yeah, so it turns out that if you are a Republican and you impeach the Republican president, when you go into primaries, your own uh, constituents will say, "Get the f out of here."
Oh, that's very interesting.
Isn't
I
that
mean,
crazy? That's nuts.
how
That's nuts.
stupid as a society have we gotten?
Oh, well,
I
these
mean,
people think
seriously.
these people sniff their own farts all day long. They get elected into office
You're
and they think
exactly
that
right.
they are great and they think they are fighting the great evil that is Donald Trump or
Mhm.
whatever. They are not populists. They
Or
absolutely are establishment shills.
they start listening to the loudest portion of the media
Yeah,
and the internet, which
yeah.
has always represented about 4% of the entire population or 1% of the population. The loudest percentage is always the loudest people are always the smallest percentage.
So
It's a fact.
not only is like Trump for this election cycle, not only are I think the score is like 174 to 10 in terms of candidates that Trump endorsed and they won their primary versus the ones he endorsed and they haven't won. So he's won something like he's basically correctly predicted or correctly endorsed 170 some odd candidates. These are candidates that therefore hold policy positions that reflect or are congruent with an America First policy position where, first thing we do is we make sure our house is in order. We make sure that policies that America enacts helps Americans and then also the rest of the world and then also our allies and then also whatever. So not only are Trump's, we'll say MAGA or MAGA adjacent populist representatives winning in primaries, but constituents are punishing Republican representatives that voted to impeach him because it was entirely a fraudulent thing to begin with, and we see that all of RussiaGate was fraudulent. The phone call with Ukraine was a pretext and nothing more.
You mean to
And
tell
so
me Russian hackers didn't do all this, JJ?
I mean, they may have done something, but they didn't do all of this, and they certainly didn't set up the Hunter Biden laptop. That was Hunter Biden that did that. But what we did have is 50 bureaucrats in Washington D.C. signed a letter lying on purpose, lying, representing the um, that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. That was itself a lie. It was not true, and we had 50 members of our government lie to us to bolster President Biden's or candidate Biden's campaign at the time. So, Liz Cheney, everybody's
All
favorite
because of the hate.
Republican. Yeah, Cheney faces a primary next week at her district, at her at-large district. But recent polling indicates she's facing an uphill battle against the Trump-backed Harriet Hageman. So, getting this hag also out of office is like a major American milestone. Get rid of this hag. I mean, there's very little you can do about getting Pelosi out of San Francisco representation, but this one right here, get rid of her. Get the Cheneys out of government. She's the like token Republican in air quotes serving on the January 6th committee.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Representative
That
Anthony
should tell you
Gonzalez.
something. That
Yeah,
should tell you something. Yeah.
so this is Anthony Gonzalez, a former NFL player who was elected in 2018. He announced he was not seeking a third term for the House months after impeaching Trump. So he was already cashing out. So he voted to dump Trump. Less than 2 months after the president's second impeachment, Trump endorsed his aide, Max Miller, in his challenge to Gonzalez. Gonzalez's impeachment vote also set off a firestorm among Ohio Republicans, and the Ohio Republican Party censured Gonzalez and called for his resignation in May.
Mm.
I feel like we already talked about Jamie Herrera Butler. It was at the lead of the story. This is Herrera Butler. She's losing her. She lost her primary. This is I think these people deserve just a moment of our attention. These losers as they get kicked
Okay.
out of fucking office. Rep. John Katko, New York. He represents Syracuse. He's going to step down as chairman of the Republican Governance Group, a caucus of moderate Republicans held since 2017. He's set to retire. Okay. Oh, it's Adam Kinzinger. Uh, Kinzinger did not just impeach the former president, but now serves on the House panel investigating January 6th. So he's the second token Republican. I think there's only two. He announced in October that he would retire at the end of term, which also came after redistricting maps approved by Illinois lawmakers drew him into the same district as Representative Darren LaHood, who was endorsed by Trump just before the primary. So Illinois said, okay, your district and LaHood's are now the same place, so you guys got to go head to head. And so he says, I retire. I can't win. So here's another Trump win right here. Peter Maher, second pro-impeachment Republican, defeated in their primary. He lost last week. F you, bro. This is Dan Newhouse, Washington. He just looks like somebody that is concealing some sort of sex crimes. Newhouse is one of only two pro-impeachment Republicans to survive a primary challenge. He faced 6 challengers last week, in a former president chief backed by Trump and a former NASCAR racer. So he won his primary. So in his district, I say, vote for a Democrat. I don't know. Get rid of this guy. At least a Democrat's not going to lie to you, right? Right?
Yes. That's correct, JJ.
Tom Rice,
Sorry.
he lost his re-election. Good for him. This is Fred Upton. He's retiring. And this is David Valado. And he's been ousted by Rep. TJ Cox. So there you go. There's a bunch of loser Republicans.
See the big red button? We're going to hit the big red button for the loser Republicans, okay? You see the big red button on the phone?
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Go. You ready? Go. This is for all the Republicans that did that.
Oh.
So there you go.
All right. Oh, hey, it's not just good news for Republicans. There's some good news for Democrats too. And let's cover it fair. Let's cover it fair, Deacon.
Okay. All right.
This is I bet there's a lot of people who are going to be happy about this. The Biden administration has phased out Trump's Remain in Mexico policy after they won in the Supreme Court. So good for you, Biden administration. Instead of capturing people crossing the border and returning them to Mexico while they wait for their case to go through, court. Instead, we're going to let them into our country, and there's no step 2, I think.
I was waiting for step 2.
I think there's no step 2. They just get to come in. The Biden administration quietly ended the Trump-era Remain in Mexico policy, clearing the way for potentially tens of thousands more migrants to enter the U.S. Just what we need, sir. We need, and we do need migrants. We do need migrants. Do we need all the paperwork? Do we need people to? Do we need to know who they are? I guess not. Maybe not. In a late night statement, the DHS announced it would no longer enroll asylum seekers in the Migrant Protection Protocols program, which forced about 70,000 people south of the border over the past 3 years to wait for their immigration hearings. Migrants currently in the program will be disenrolled when they return to the U.S. for their next scheduled court appearance, and further removal proceedings will be held stateside. MPP has this is a quote. MPP has endemic flaws, imposes unjustifiable human costs, and pulls resources and personnel away from other priority efforts to secure our border. Baloney. Trump first implemented MPP in early 2019 as the number of migrant encounters surged over 100,000 per month. Since October 1st of last year, the average number of encounters has topped 194,000 per month. That's
a month.
Yeah, that's like a million. Let's see, 12. That's like 2.5 million people. There's cities in the United States that aren't that large.
Dude, my closest city to me is we're nowhere near that. I think there's nowhere near that within the no, that's more people than live in
Yeah.
200-mile, 100-mile, 150-mile radius.
So the Biden administration tried several times to end the policy, but U.S. District Judge Matthew Kaczmarek ruled in 2021 that the White House had not followed the proper procedure and ordered the administration to make a good faith effort to enforce MPP while the case made its way through the courts. So this one, June 30th, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 that the White House could wind the program up over the objection of the Republican-led states. Chief Justice Roberts, what a hero this guy is, wrote in his majority opinion that nothing prevents an agency from undertaking new agency action while simultaneously appealing an adverse judgment against its original action. So, so remain in Mexico is going to be is now over. So instead of having our asylum seekers wait in Mexico, which is, by the way, a nation where they could have sought asylum, instead of that, they're gonna wait here somewhere in America. But don't worry, the Biden administration is flying them all over the place.
So don't worry. It's not. We can guarantee that if you live near a politician, you don't have anything to worry about with this. They won't be flying them and putting them near you. So this is an encouragement to maybe purchase property near where politicians live. The more prominent politicians, the more
not secure. Just any politician. It really probably doesn't need to be a Republican politician, because then you could have Antifa or Black Lives Matter show up and protest and threaten to burn your house down. So you be careful about the neighborhoods you pick and the neighbors you choose. So that's all the bum news that I'm going to read this morning. We got a few minutes. Let's read some fun stuff.
I thought that was the fun news, JJ.
You thought that was the fun stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know why I have a YouTube page up here. Was there a link that went to YouTube in our notes?
I don't know.
It's weird. Oh, it was probably this one. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me. I know you're. Yeah, I know you're so excited. So we can't even barely wait until August 17th. I know. I'm
looking forward to it
with you. So the big news here is that we apparently get a better look at the Daredevil costume. So that makes this big news. This is big news. The most important thing about the Hulk show is that Daredevil is in it for a microsecond. See if you can catch it. Should I do the sound? Did I do the sound? I don't think I did the sound. I almost don't even want to show the trailer. I closed it. Great. Good job. Whoever our producer is on this show,
they suck.
He's awful. He's just the worst. Amateur hour over here.
Hey, I look like my little
cousin, your cute one.
My little picture up there.
Oh, your emoji thing or whatever. Didn't you say you made that with like a Warcraft or something?
No, it's called Hero Forge. Yeah, it's a miniature. Forge.
Yeah. We are really going to watch this show and then give reviews the next day, Deacon. It's really going to happen. I did it again. Oh my God, I did it again. Please forgive me.
Do you want me to do it?
Share the tab, sound button on. Here we go. And look, it's also muted here. All right. Watching the trailer.
Whether you like it or not, you're now a superhero.
Very good.
Just trying to show you.
No,
it's done.
I'm shown. I did not go to law school to become a vigilante.
Our universe is on the edge of a precipice.
All right.
Oh,
our universe is on the edge of a precipice.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't a precipice an edge? Isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it? Is the edge of a precipice? Is the edge of an edge? maybe I have my vocabulary wrong.
A very
So they
steep
brought back.
rock face or cliff, especially a tall one.
Hmm,
Oh,
okay.
okay. What do you think about honest opinion? I like the actor, but what do
Oh
you think
yes.
about the Hulk being Hulk? Not Hulk, but hey, how you doing? I'm Hulk. I just threw a rock to the freaking next
Oh,
planet.
you mean it being like it's
Kind of
Professor
smart Hulk.
Hulk, smart
Yeah,
smart
whatever
Hulk?
they're calling him. What do you think about that?
I think it's less fun.
Yeah, it is
Wasn't
less
he
fun.
so much more fun in Avengers when he was like
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash, and then he punched Loki in the side of the head and knocked him through the room or something, or maybe it was Thor. I don't remember whichever one he did the sideways punch. Wasn't he so much more fun there? And he was even more fun in Ragnarok when he was just dumb baby Hulk that was just like, no, I want to fight stuff. I like
Yeah.
fighting stuff. It's
Yeah,
fun.
that's great. I mean, the big dumb brute is the great, and
I will say,
the
oh,
best
go ahead.
Hulk though is on the Avengers cartoon, where him and Hawkeye's little banter on the freaking cartoon is one that will make you like laugh out loud. It's
So,
it's
is
so
there
funny.
is there a new Avengers cartoon? Because
It's that one from years back.
oh, okay, yeah, they did one where they did like 2 seasons, and then they did a couple more seasons, but they changed the name of the show. It was like great Earth's Mightiest Heroes at one
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I think that
Uh,
was called it.
that was a great cartoon. That was fun. That was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, but yeah, Fred.
So
Fred.
here,
I can never say his last name. I always say Trascatori, but that's not him. He does the Hulk's voice. He does a good job.
on that cartoon.
Yeah, but you've
Yes.
heard him a million times in a million different things. This guy.
I think that it's maybe too easy now for them to do Mark Ruffalo smart Hulk, and then Mark Ruffalo gets to throw comedy lines or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that we're not getting back to dumb Hulk anytime soon.
And it sucks.
I do see that
He's not
his
dumb. He's just simple Hulk.
so his right hand his right arm got busted in Endgame, right? And it was all withered. And it was in a sling when they brought him back in what was it? What else was he in? The Hulk was in one of these movies. Anyway, he had a busted arm, and as the Hulk, a withered arm. Well, he seems to have gotten better from Infinity Stone. This is the Abomination, which they had in Doctor Strange. Was it Doctor? No, was it in Doctor Strange, or was it in what movie was it in? They had him in with Wong fighting.
What movie was that?
Was that the Spider-Man movie? Was it Shang-Chi? I think it was Shang-Chi. I didn't watch that, so I didn't see it. But they brought back Tim Roth to reprise his role. Was it?
Yeah. I have to say that one was good. I enjoyed Shang-Chi. I enjoyed it because me and my son watched it, and he really enjoyed it. So there was a family aspect.
Oh, okay.
But the movie itself, I'm biased to Simu Liu is the actor that plays Shang, and I love him. I think he's a great actor. We watched he was in I can never think of the name of it. Appa, the grocery store TV show from Canada, where they're a little grocery store. Kim's Convenience. You ever watched Kim's Convenience?
I have never seen that.
If you ever see that show on anywhere, it's on Netflix, but I don't know if it's a Netflix exclusive. It's called Kim's Convenience, and it's just a little sitcom type show about a convenience store in Canada, and they're South Korean, and it's hilarious. Paul, what's his name, plays Kim. Paul, he's been in some latest Star Wars stuff. Paul Sung-hyung Lee.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
Sure.
You would know him.
So I'm thinking like maybe I just missed the boat on this Shang-Chi movie. Maybe it was a big hit, and I just I wasn't going to movies at the time. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I kind of
It's
recognize this guy.
yeah. He was. He's been in a
Oh,
movie.
yes. That's
Yeah.
where I recognize him from.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he is
Yeah.
a great freaking actor. And do you watch? You probably don't. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I watched the
Mm.
original series, like, and then not the whole
The
thing, probably like
original.
the 2 or 3 series. Yeah, it's 2 or
Okay,
3 seasons of the original.
so he is going to play Uncle Iroh, who was
Okay. Yeah, the Fire
the
Nation uncle of
yeah,
the bad guy.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I like
yeah,
that guy.
and
So
man,
I got a little bit of
perfect,
cred. I know what I'm talking about with Avatar.
awesome. That's awesome. I love
A little bit of
Avatar.
cred.
I was one of those adults that watched Avatar like book one, and I got hooked on it like book one because I was at a buddy's house and he had it on. I was like, "What the crap is this?" And we were watching it, and I got hooked on it immediately. And it's such a deep story. It's a cartoon, kiddie cartoon, but it's a deep story. You know, it
Avatar.
really is.
Avatar.
Yeah, I'm
They
glad
did
they're
a
making.
sequel of like they did a sequel when they were older or something. I don't know. And they did the movie where they had M
Yeah,
Night
the Legend
Shyamalan.
of Korra. The
Yeah.
Legend of Korra is the next Avatar, and it's not as good as I could complain about that one for days.
Okay.
But they made the movie with M Night Shyamalan that got a bunch of hate. I'm an M Night Shyamalan fan. I think he's a great storyteller. I think he gets very misunderstood. But he got on board with the Avatar because his kids loved the show and he got hooked on it. He was like, wow, this is really cool. I want to make these movies. And he invested all this stuff to make these movies and he was getting screwed. Like the people were saying, no, you can't do this and you can't do this and you can't do this. And then everybody said, all those movies suck. So they just stopped. So that's why that movie.
Well, that's
sucks so
that's the
bad.
danger
Which, hey,
of doing
this is
an
crazy.
adaptation. That's the danger of doing an adaptation of something that people really love. It's that
Yeah, yeah.
you can't, especially a book, but in this case a show, you cannot
Can't deviate it.
always translate the story that takes place in people's
Mhm.
minds and faithfully represent it on screen. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, and you got to be careful about taking on beloved properties like that. For instance,
The
uh,
the hardcore Tolkien people loathe
they are not
Peter
happy.
Jackson.
Oh, they don't.
My
Oh,
God.
they don't like Peter Jackson.
No,
And
they
let
want
me tell you,
those movies. They want to wish they would never existed. The
well,
hardcore Tolkien people
my
hate those movies.
understanding is that right now the Tolkien hardcore fan club is so upset about Amazon's Rings of Power.
Oh
And-
yeah, that's the latest. Yeah, that one's the latest. But you ask them
if
about the other movies,
if it's
they don't like
if
it
it's
either.
true that they don't like the Peter Jackson films, that they are absolutely livid about this. The Tolkien estate was I think it was the Tolkien estate. I don't know what the situation is, but the producers of the Rings of Power initially contacted Peter Jackson to get like a little bit of cooperative feedback, and he was like, "Sure, send me your scripts." And they're like, "Well, we don't have scripts yet, so later on." But and then between that point and having scripts, apparently the Tolkien estate was like, "Don't work with." Don't commingle with the Peter Jackson stuff. Don't work with them. And so the Amazon producers never called Peter Jackson back. And so Peter Jackson's like, I don't know what they're doing. They called for help and then they never called back. And now you've got this. And it's like, anyway, that's about all I know about it, is that it looks pretty bad.
So yeah, this is a good show. You ever get a chance to watch Kim's Convenience? That's I recommend that one.
I will. Okay. You mentioned. Well, let's just finish this.
Let's
finish
just
this
watch
up
it
because
real
we're looking for the most important thing. So I'm happy that they're going to bring Tim Roth back. I'll watch Tim Roth in anything, even this.
I do too. I like him. Good actor.
And then let's see.
do this.
There's.
Who the hell are you?
I believe that this is Titania. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's like a She-Hulk, antagonist or whatever. So this is Titania, and I guess they're having a brawl in the courthouse or something. And there it is. There's your Daredevil. This is what everybody's so excited about. It's like, oh, it's Daredevil. He's blind. He's not only colorblind, he's blind, and so he's got a very well designed costume, red and yellow. So this is exciting for everybody, sir. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I like Daredevil.
Okay. Sure.
I thought the actor that did him in the Netflix one did great. I mean, that's
Oh yeah,
Matt
Charlie
Murdoch.
Cox for sure.
Yeah, Charlie
for
Cox.
sure.
That's Matt Murdoch. They did such the casting person.
That name better not stick.
She-Hulk attorney.
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited. I'm gonna say it. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, the casting person for the casting for the Netflix shows, I thought they were dead on.
Okay. I think I'm really going to get you this time. I think I'm really going to get you because I bet you didn't read the news stories all in advance. So I'm going to get you this time. You're really going to be excited about this.
Okay.
You are. I'll just share my whole. No, I can't do that. Okay. Again, this is a two-parter. So Marvel fans are ecstatic about the Hood's arrival. The Hood is coming to MCU, Deacon.
Mm-hmm.
The Hood.
Yeah, and it's going to be with. Oh, I know this. He's coming with. I don't remember now.
Anthony Ramos will be portraying Robbins, the criminal kingpin turned sorcerer named the Hood.
What show?
It's gonna be on Ironheart, which I know you're looking forward to.
Ironheart? No, I didn't think Ironheart. I thought it was something else.
Yeah, but check it out. It's not only that. We got a set photo. What? Look at this amazing costume of the Hood. It doesn't look like they got it at Halloween Spirit.
I know it kind of looks plastic. But I mean, this is set stuff, and it always looks better on screen.
That's fair. That's fair.
And
look at his little teeny tiny gun. Isn't that scary?
No, but by God, once they get done, he looks awesome.
Yeah,
he looks like the freaking Hood. And imagine him. Imagine what he's going to look like when he freaking demons out.
Okay. Now, you've seen the Hood in the game, and in the Hood in the game he's wearing he's basically pretty well dressed. He's got like pantsuit, he's got the pointy shoes, he has a vest, and then he's got this hood thing on or whatever. He's got like a three-piece suit vest. This one seems to be wearing a suit sport jacket. Yeah.
Look at that one there, right? And then let's look real quick. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Here we are.
So I mean, here in the game, he's got like a Texas belt buckle with like a Satan symbol on it, and he's got like a 3-button vest, and he has this hood, but he's trying to dress good. He has to wear the hood, but otherwise he's a clothes horse, right?
But he looks awesome.
Does he? Yes, he looks awesome. I'm with you. Let's do it.
After we see the final, I think he's going to look good. He could look different. They could be like, we're going to go with a different thing, and he's the Hood because he wears this. No, they kept true. So
this sport coat looks stupid. Yeah. He's got so he's wearing a sport coat. I would probably forgive that. On top of the sport coat, he has. What is this going on? Why does he have this? Why does he have a Boy Scout sash?
The only thing that I can think of right there is that they're going to be. Oh no, we've got to digitally add this to those, and then he's digitally going to have this thing.
So it's not fair to judge it by what we see here.
Well, I'm an artist. I've always. You don't judge the thing until it's done.
What's happening on his pants here?
See, that's the same
Why does
thing.
It look sticky?
Those could be markers for something. This is where this particular thing you need to animate on his leg goes, where this is every time.
Come on, showstopper, come downstairs. All right, and let's get it. Hey, but that's not it. Yeah, look at this. Ironheart's armor.
Oh, that's her armor. Oh,
yes, that girl is thick.
But that looks awesome.
Does it? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it looks bad, but I mean, it doesn't look like Ironheart. It no.
It kind of doesn't look anything like Ironheart.
No.
And it looks bigger and broodier than any of the Iron Man armor, except for maybe the Mark 1.
Okay, there's a question for you, JJ. Yeah, I mean, the Ironheart armor.
Yeah, do you got a picture of it?
I'm trying to pull it up. Here, let me pull up the Ironheart armor over here on my side.
Hey, sweetie, come here. Look,
the Ironheart armor is. I really want to get JJ's opinion on this. What I'm fixing to say, but you can look at armor. I'm just saying. Okay, let's look at this one. That one's a little better. But
she has like the legs going outwards from the knees in that one.
Okay, and now you say this. Look at this one's not really. But do you want me to tell you why this one has the knees looking a little different than this one? And this is what I'm getting at with this other picture. You can look at this and tell that it's a female. You can look at this one and kind of tell that it's a female. You can look at this one and tell that it's a female. You look at this one from the movie, and it's not so much female.
Oh.
Look at this one, which is similar to that one from the movie, and it's drawn. But what did they do to this one to make it more female? They narrowed the waist. On a male, it would be the waist would be bigger here, and the legs would be more straight. They've leaned.
I feel like her hit.
I mean, make it look like a female, and I don't. So
why is this photo of this one look so chunky and dude like?
That's what I'm getting at. That's why when I think I saw this and said my initial reaction, did you hear me? I said, that doesn't look like Ironheart. And I think that was because I'm used to looking at, I know that's not Tony Stark.
Right.
I know that's not Tony Stark.
And look at the hand. Look at the hands. They're just like, just put some gloves on there and like draw some lines. We're not going to do any. We're not going to do anything articulated. It's just going to be gloves.
So honestly, Riri could wear a Mark whatever suit from his, and you could look at her and say, "That's not Tony Stark. That's somebody else," because it molded around her body because she's littler than his frame. And this one right here, they're making it look like it's a mech suit. Get in it, little girl.
So,
maybe this is. I don't know. Maybe that's not
they totally believe that this is a like. I don't. Honestly, I don't know where they're getting this from.
Supposed to have made the suit from,
junk.
So
she's a super genius. Okay,
maybe we don't need to judge it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. Right. That show comes out. I don't know.
I'm gonna watch it. I've always liked the Riri Williams.
Don't worry. I know. Cool. I know. I gave you. I know. I kind of trolled you there a little bit. But this is actually good news. So Frank Miller Presents is a new comic book company that Frank Miller started over the last year. And they're going to publish a surprise $1 preview comic this month on... Yes. So you can head on down to your local comic book store. It happens to come out the same day as She-Hulk first episode. Or maybe, I think She-Hulk episode got bumped back a day. So it comes out August 17th. You get a Frank Miller Presents surprise comic drop. It's a 32-page Ashcan edition comic, which I think is usually like a little smaller. It's 32 pages. It costs $1, and you get a 10-page Ronin story. It's a sequel to his Ronin series from 1983, and you get a 17-page Ancient Enemies story, and you must get something else in there. So this is a new comic book company. So I've been talking a while about comic creators going independent, start doing their own stuff. And, Frank Miller is one of the greats. He's one of the GOATs, the greatest of all time. And he's doing the same thing. He started his own publishing company, and he's producing stuff under his own label. He's no longer tethered to Dark Horse strictly or, anything else. So
this is really cool.
Comics. Yeah, this is really cool. It's a whole $1 investment. $1.
I really want to read the 17-page Ancient Enemies story in the last little sentence down there. That sounds right up my freaking alley, man. What is it?
As a prequel to the upcoming series, which is about 1,000-year-old galactic war before the primary combatants arrived on Earth and threatened all existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like stuff
So
like that.
a Frank Miller produced science fiction, like galactic space fight thing. That sounds great.
My
Also,
favorite.
Ronin looks pretty
Go
good.
ahead. My
Yeah, I
favorite
don't know.
episode of Discovery. Did you watch Star Trek Discovery?
Is
The one with
I watched
Captain.
Voyager.
No, that was
Isn't
Voyager.
that Voyager?
Yeah, it's
Voyager?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Voyager. I mean,
Come on, dude. It was 1996. Of course I watched Star Trek Voyager,
so
the 7 of 9 show.
wasn't it? Oh, yeah, that's right. 7 of 9 graduated from a high school that's not very far from here, Jerry Ryan. But no, there was an episode of Voyager that I really loved where they ran across those robots that were fighting those other robots. And when it came to, they figured out what the crap was going on. These robots had both been programmed by these races that had been extinct for millions of years, but these robots were
Right.
still fighting this
Yeah.
war that they had been fighting for millions of years and just repairing themselves and keep fighting. And those people have been extinct for that long. I always loved that. So that when I was reading that down at the bottom, ancient races, 1,000-year-old galactic war, that sounds awesome. So this is August the what now? 17th. So I have to get up to your
Yes.
store August 17th.
You got one in your town, or do you have to travel?
I've got to go a little bit, but it's not.
Okay. Well,
It's,
hopefully your shop. You may call over there and be like, "Hey, make sure to get that." I think they're giving them out for free to the shops. I'm pretty sure.
whoops, wrong one.
Yeah. So the ash can will have an SRP of $1 to readers, but will be sent to comic book retailers free of charge as an introduction to the new publisher. So you may call your shop ahead of time and be like, "Hey, pick that thing up, and I'll get one."
Yeah, you might.
To let them, put it on their radar. I mean, it's, anyway. I've always had the attitude of like, we should try to support our local comic shop. And a lot of times the local comic book shop sucks. So what are you going to do?
I went to my local one since I was like 13 years old. It was the only place back then that you could get Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And and those guys look just like the guys from Stranger Things that everybody's trying to look like nowadays. They're still in business, and the same freaking guys that worked there when they were 18 are working there when they're 50. And one of the guys owns the place now, but it's just like it's not as big as it was. But he's still a nice guy, and he remembers me from. I've been going to that same comic book shop for 30 years, man, over 30 years. And I took some time off as when I got older and started having kids. I didn't go,
of course,
for a while, but I still, I took my kids up there and we bought a Munchkin deck not too long ago because they've got a bunch of different Munchkin decks in there. So, yeah, support your local comics, man. Go in there and buy some stuff. Wait, I need to go up to the local. There's another local comic book shop because the kids and I are playing Dungeons and Dragons now, and I'm running them on some Dungeons and Dragons missions. And I've bought them all sets of dice, some little dice sets, but that was like a big thing when you played D&D was to get to pick out your own dice,
Oh, so really?
Yeah, that's a big thing. So I want to take them to the comic book shop and say, pick out your own dice, because I bought them a set and they're like, oh, I'll take the green, I'll take the red, I'll take the blue. But I want them to be like, I want the sparkly ones that are,
very sneaky. See, that's a sales tactic called buy-in. You get them to choose, and then they have emotional investment, even if it's very, very small.
That's
you
true.
Get them in.
That's
true. Get them hooked on your hobby.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Manuel.
Actually, I'm going about it differently because I wanted to see if they were interested in it before I spent like $40 on dice.
So Manuel Rosario says, I need more Dr. Bong comics. I'm off tomorrow, so it seems like a good idea. I'm not sure what a Dr. Bong comics is, but
Dr. Bong, you don't know Dr. Bong, JJ?
I do not. I do not.
I'm
I
fixing to
am
lose my
old,
video,
sir.
by the way.
I am very old.
Dr. Bong is he was a bad guy for Howard the Duck, man.
Oh, really?
Dr.
I'm
Bong,
sorry.
look.
I
You didn't read
think
Howard the
that's
Duck?
that's
Howard the Duck. Dun, 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 dun.
oh, I can see why that's so appealing.
Dr. Bong. We tried to get Gabe to put him in the Contest of Champions. Manuel, he's they play a contest. Oh, there goes McCammy Ray.
Oh, is it here?
No, my laptop just died.
Oh, hey, well, your care package arrives today, sir.
It
So
should. I asked Ashley
tomorrow,
yesterday. I said, "Did you get a package on the door today?" She's like, "No, I hadn't seen one." It's like, okay. I've just been watching because
very, very excited for tomorrow. Show up, everybody, tomorrow, boys and girls, because we ought to have new video and so he's gonna look better than ever, and he's gonna have a makeup light, so he's well illuminated. I'm very excited.
oh my God, put something else up there. I don't want to see my face.
Here, we'll do this. We'll remind everybody, if you haven't already, everybody, please make sure to tune in every morning, 6:30 in the morning. That's where we are at. We are here to read news and tell you everything you need to know about the world. Weekdays, 6:30 in the morning. And if you haven't, his face went away. He just decided to take his face off. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe. I have no idea what I'm doing on YouTube. I don't know how to grow the channel. I need your help. we need to get our influence out there and bring more people in so that more people will drink coffee and read the news and maybe tell jokes. And if you are a viewer and a listener or and you're also a dad, contact Deacon, because we love to have a guest dad on the show, and I think we would like to make it a regular thing to have like once a week we have like a guest dad. So
yeah, I would like that too.
We want to loop everybody in. So contact Deacon. How do you contact Deacon? Deacon?
If you open your window and yell really loud, Deacon. Normally, no, come on Discord. Come to the UMCOC Discord server, the unofficial Marvel Contest of Champions Discord server, and find me on there. Or I'm on Twitter at Dad Deacon. That's the,
yes, that's what you should do. We have that on here somewhere. Don't we have that on here somewhere? We don't have that on here.
There you go.
We have the Twitter Two Dads community. You could hook us up there. Let me just do this. Let me go.
Yeah, we can make a name of just
Twitter. I'll just do one right now. Twitter at Dad Deacon. Loop. How's that? Is that good?
That works.
All right. And yeah, let him know. And or I mean, you could also let me know, but like, I gotta find a car. Deacon did a better job setting up that other one, so I'm gonna let him handle it. So anyway, that's all I got today. I think that's all we got. Make sure to hit like on this stream if you don't mind. I'm not sure it helps anybody. I didn't. I have my time has been so consumed that I haven't been tagging the show like I'm supposed to be. So I don't know if it is getting out to enough people, but anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow. I am an amateur and Deacon's a pro, and I think it shows.
No,
I think it shows.
No, not at all.
All right, bye everybody. See you tomorrow. I gotta go get my kids.